point. Now, I know you guys are in the middle of a series on idols, or counterfeit gods, based on the book by Timothy Keller titled Counterfeit Gods. Great book. If you haven't read it, I really encourage you to read it. Tim Keller is an excellent author. He has a different perspective on things, and he's written many books. It's not just Counterfeit Gods. I believe he wrote The Prodigal God, which was also a very good book. But I encourage you guys to read his material. He's really good. And it's okay. He's not orthodox, but it's okay. Okay. Bishoy said that you can read Timothy Keller's The Prodigal God and Counterfeit Gods. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something that I think is going to hit home for all of us. And these are the type of topics that I love to talk about. It's not arcane to anyone. It's not obsolete for anyone. It's a topic that when you go home at night and like you're about to fall asleep, you know that time period when you're thinking, you know? I'm praying that the Holy Spirit really works in us and we're really taking that time to think about what we're going to talk about today, okay? Who was here last week? Friday night. Okay, can someone just give me a brief synopsis of what the discussion was? If you can put it in 2 sentences, sum up what the topic was, just so everyone's kind of on the same page so that we can carry on from here. Frankie, can you?
Last week's meeting was about how worshiping idols is not only worshiping false gods, but it's worshiping everyday life, things, events, any object that interferes with God's grace.
Okay. All right, excellent. So in sum and substance, worshiping idols, okay, doesn't necessarily have to be materialistic God the way they were in the Old Testament, golden calves and what have you.
It can be something good also.
Say it again.
It can be things that
Excellent. It could be something bad and it could be something good. So I can have an idol who I worship that is bad. I can have an idol that I worship that is good. Can someone give me an example of a good idol?
when you focus on your success, that becomes an idol.
Okay, excellent. So is success inherently a bad thing? Isn't success a good thing? Doesn't the Lord want us to prosper? Right? Okay. Yet, it can also become something bad. We all know this. We've all heard this hundreds of times. Okay. Give me an example of a bad idol. Yes, go ahead.
I thought you were going to talk about a good idol. But,
Give me another good idol. Go ahead.
we were just saying, when we were discussing in groups, we said that good idols is something that gets you to a goal, and your goal is to be with God in the end. So, anything that will get you closer to Him.
Okay.
Like a virtue, like humility, like...
Okay, I thought when we said good idols, I thought was I right or was he right?
No, you were right.
Okay, no, just because you just walked in and now you're trying to act like the man putting your hand up. So I'm only kidding with you. I love you. I'm kidding, dude. Stop. All right. Okay. All right. Frankie. Okay. So good idols are meaning that it's an idol which is bad, but it's inherently a good thing that we are idolizing, which we are turning it bad. We are using it in a negative way. We're using it in the wrong way. Okay, and it's taking us over. But you're absolutely right. There are good idols that are inherently good, and we're using them the good way. Although I don't like to call them idols because they aren't idols. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say one that's very misleading is service. I think that confuses a lot of people. People get consumed with actual service and they get sidetracked from criticism.
I think that's an amazing example. Okay, because as a servant, and we're all servants, but as a servant, from my own experience, I oftentimes, you know what? Why are we going to limit it to like such a detailed kind of like focused view? Let's take a step outside, bird's eye view. How about the church? Generally speaking, the church. Okay, you guys know that based on the schism from way back when, and we're not going to get into history, church history, but right now there's an Oriental Orthodox Church and there's an Eastern Orthodox Church. Okay? Oriental and Eastern. Where do we fall? Oriental. We're the Oriental Orthodox Church. Okay? Give me an example of a church that's in the Eastern Orthodox Church. They're still Orthodox, but they're not Oriental Orthodox. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Serbian, what else? Greek, Russian, right? These are examples of Eastern Orthodox churches, right? Okay. The differences between them has really reached the point of semantics. It's not even something worthy of separation, if you will. Okay? Yet, I have to say that to some extent, we have idolized our religion or our religious sect in a sense where Christ is Christ is behind that somewhere. Okay? And this kind of is going to segue into what I want to talk about here today, which is kind of hidden idols. There are idols that everyone knows about that are clear to us. Okay? An example is my house can be my idol. I am going to work day and night to make sure I make ends meet in my house because this is my pride. This is what I've been working for, the dream, the American dream. Every picture you see, every house you see that's for sale, right? Or a company that sells homes, they're going to put the beautiful home on their cover and say, you want this house? You know why? Because it's the American dream. Come to us, we'll get you this house. It's a dream. It's the dream. Every single person sitting here right now is seeking to be fulfilled. Everyone. It's human nature. We all want to seek whatever it's going to be that's going to give me what? That sense of what? Success, fulfillment, achievement, love, friendship, acceptance. Right? I want to feel good. I want to feel good. Is that wrong to want to feel good? Is it wrong to want to feel good? Is it? Of course not. Of course not. God is good. We are created in His image. And in His likeness. And it is not wrong for us to want to feel successful, loved, accepted, free. Now here's where Satan comes into the picture. You see, Satan wants us to focus on the visual, obvious idols. Hey, don't worry about it. You're fine. Keep yourself away from all of those idols that everybody knows about, and you're good. You're good. Don't focus on the house. Bravo, Alec. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. The house is an obvious idol. Stay away from it. Excellent. The car, the success. And mind you, even though we know they're obvious idols, what are we doing? What are we doing? Oftentimes we're still what? Idolizing. Because we've misconstrued this idea of success to mean success is worldly success. We all know this. My success is going to be success in the sense that I am going to become a lawyer. I am going to become a doctor. I am going to become a fireman. I am going to become a nurse. I am going to become whatever it is that our careers that we've developed, that we strive to achieve, right? Can very quickly become what? An idol. Okay? This is very... Guys, let me tell you something. You know what I can't stand about Satan? This is what I can't stand about him. He stands right in front of your face, and he knows you see him, and he's laughing at you. And he knows you're laughing at him. He knows that he's laughing at you. And he knows that you know that he's laughing at you. And he still wins. He stands in front of our face. He laughs. He knows that I see him laughing. And he continues to stand and laugh. And he continues to see me fall. And he continues to see me suffer. And he knows standing right behind me is God, waiting to hold me up. But he knows I'm too weak. And he's going to stand there in my face and laugh. But you know what? We could talk about the obvious idols for hours. I was asked, unfortunately, to speak about the hidden ones. Yani, we're not ready for the hidden ones. We're not. We're not. Because in my mind, I'm supposed to become this. And ultimately, I want to be this. And this is the amount that I want to have. And right now in my life, I want to be the man. I want to be accepted. I want to be loved. I want to be this. And I want to be that. But I'm going to talk to you guys about hidden idols. Okay? But they're not hidden in the sense where I'm going to say it and you guys are going to be like, that's an idol? Where is he? No, it's a type of idol, guys, that's hidden, but deep down, every single one of us knows that we might be idolizing this. And I'm going to focus on one in particular, because this is one in particular that at this age, it haunts us, this idol. This idol that I want to talk about is love. This I do consider a hidden idol. Why? Because on its face, love is beautiful. Love is grand. God gave us love. God is love. And if God is love, and love is grand, and God is the essence of love, and the essence of love is God, then love can't be something negative. No. Okay? Because I want to get married. I want to get married. I want to hold her hand and have that sense, that feeling. I want to hold his hand and hold the hand of a man who I feel is going to take care of me. And I want, listen, we can sit here and laugh about it, or we can sit here and be adults and say, you know what, this is what every single one of us is going through right now. And let's be real. I mean, one thing you guys know, I'm real. No? Let's be real with each other. We want this. We want this love. Yes. 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 Eventually I want to have sex. Yes. I want to have romance. In my mind, I want it in a good way. I do. I want intimacy. This is how God created me. What, you looking at me like I'm crazy? God created me this way. God created me this way. Why do we have these emotions and these feelings? Where do we get them from? From the very beginning. From the very beginning. People oftentimes ask, if God knows we're going to end up dying, some of us are going to go to hell, why create us to begin with? The answer to this is it's uncontrollable love. His love is overwhelming. He must create. It's his essence. He cannot love himself. This is not true love. True love is to love who? Someone else. He must create because he's an all-loving God. This is natural. Now the question becomes, how does this go from natural to idol? How does this become a hidden idol? What do you guys think? In the book that I was reading, Counterfeit Gods, there's such a beautiful example of it. We all know Jacob in the Old Testament, right? Right? We all know that guy? Okay. Jacob does something kind of dirty. What does he do? He steals what? His brother's what? Birth what? Right, excellent. So he steals what? His brother's birthright. I went over it 3 times just now, and I just said he steals, and someone said birthright. He steals his brother's birthright. Who was entitled to that birthright? Esau. Esau's his... Which brother? Oh, so the older brother, the eldest brother gets what? The birthright. Okay? So he pretends like he's his brother, and he tricks his father, and he steals his birthright. Now what happens? What does he do? Does Esau find out? Does Esau find out? Yes. So what does Jacob do? He says, I'm out. Because if Esau catches me, after I just stole his birthright, what's he going to do to me? He's going to kill me. So where does he go? He runs. He flees. But he needs to go somewhere where someone knows him. So he goes to where? His uncle. Excellent. What's his uncle's name, if you remember? Laban. Excellent. Laban. And he's like, what do I got to do to live? I'll work for you, right? And Laban has 2 daughters. One daughter is so beautiful. Okay? Beautiful figure. Literally. Beautiful face. And one, they say, is weak in the eyes. Now, okay, that's scripture. Okay? It's not funny to make fun of people. especially in the Bible. But she must have not been pretty. Okay? When you read different ideas of weak in the eyes, and I don't want to demonstrate for you, but at the same time I do want us to laugh a little bit, she may have looked like this. I'm not, okay, listen. Maybe she had a deficiency. I'm not making fun of people who are cross-eyed. But she may have looked like that. That's what weak in the eyes means. So she was not pleasant to look at. Bottom line. Okay? We all together here? Okay? If anyone goes to Abuna and says, Abuna, today Bishoy was making fun of someone in the Bible, I will forgive you. Okay? Now, so what happens? He sees Rachel and he says what? What have we learned about Jacob so far, huh? What's inside of him? What does he have? He's all about who? He's all about who? I want birthright. I want this. I want to be. I want. Now he wants who? Rachel. Genesis 29:20. Okay? Genesis 29:20. Remember this. Okay? Especially the men. Remember this verse. Okay? Because he goes to Laban and he says, Uncle, what do I have to do to be with Rachel, your daughter? Now, Laban, like this. Okay? This is my interpretation right now, I'm going to tell you. And Laban to me was like the devil. Okay? No, I'm being serious. Laban to me was like the devil. Because he immediately sees the desperation. This is important. He immediately sees the desperation in Jacob's heart. And he's like, oh, I'm going to take advantage. The devil. Satan. Oh, you want to be with my daughter? Oh, you want to be with this girl? Oh, okay. Oh, you want love? Of course, it's natural. Oh, it's natural, Jacob, my nephew. You're my sister's son. Of course I'm going to take care of you. But, of course, it comes at a cost because that's how things are. Work for me for how long? 7 years. This guy is so in love. With who? Really? Himself. But he says, I'll work those 7 years. No problem. And it says in Genesis 29:20 that those 7 years were but a few days. That's how much he loved Rachel. I'm looking around, and all these weird girls are like batting their eyes. That's weird, okay? All right? Let's relax, okay? We're reading scripture here. It's really uncomfortable for me. Anyway, guys, so men, so what does Jacob do, right? He works for 7 years. 7 years is up. He goes back. Okay? Now listen, on his face from outside, everybody sees Jacob, and how does Jacob appear? This guy's a man. Oh, he made a mistake before, fine. Now he's like coming back, he's working, he's hard. Right? He's been 7 years. This guy's a man. Mom, Dad, I'm ready for marriage. I'm ready. You can't, I'm ready. I'm working. Forget about having a career. I'm going to start working now. Because now I'm going to show everyone that I can support myself and my spouse. I'm ready. Who says I'm not ready for marriage? Are you kidding me? I love her. I'm in love with her. We love each other. We read the Bible together. We pray together. Sometimes we hold hands, but it's like just a pinky. One time we kissed. Once. But it was like, by mistake. I turned around, she turned around. And then like it lasted just a couple of seconds, but it was a couple of seconds right after that we read the Bible. Okay? But we laugh, and I love to see laughs. Okay? Because we know it's true. This is very, very critical. 7 years he works. 7 years he works. After those 7 years he goes back to his uncle. What happens? No. Wow, Satan kicks him again, huh? What did he tell him? What does he tell him?
He's telling him he cheated on him. Even the other one.
Already? Or does he continue to work a little bit? Anyone know?
He says, take my unfortunate girl.
Does he tell him that? What did he tell him?
Take my other daughter.
What ultimately happens? Let's have festivities after the 7 more years. Let's have some festivities, and then what? Okay, yeah, you're ready. You're ready for her. That's fine. Okay, ready? Let's go. Let's drink and be merry. And when he gets him drunk, now he knows no one's going to marry Leah. We know why. Okay? Okay, so I need to get her married. And once there's intimacy, that's it. She's taken. Right? So he takes Leah and he says, go, and he veils her and he covers her, and Jacob sleeps and knows her, and in the morning he wakes up and he lifts up the veil. And to his surprise, it was not Rachel. Right? Now, we laugh, but I want us to think. Think very hard about it. Is he happy about this? Huh? Huh? Okay. Who was his idol? And was? Rachel. Yes. 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 I want to tell you guys something, and I want you to remember this, because I'm older than you, and I'm your big brother, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. You are the only one who knows how much you love God. No one can tell you how much you love God. No one knows your heart. No one. Except you. You're the only one who knows. And you know what, guys? Because of the hidden idols in our lives, we want to convince everyone around us how much we love God. We want to convince everyone around us how much we love God. Even though we're fooling ourselves. We trick everyone else, and we trick ourselves. And I'm telling you now, if you're thinking about marriage, or if you're thinking about a someone, or if there's someone in mind, or if this goal is wearing you down of finding a spouse, I'm telling you right now, if it's not happening, or if you feel like you're forcing, or if you feel like something is just not right, God is very clearly telling you, hey, me first. Habibi, love me first, and I'm going to give you the best Rachel there is. That's it. This woman, this man is going to blow your mind. This woman, this man is going to make you perfect in my eyes. Because he loves. He is love. He wants to give you love. He wants to give you joy. He wants to give you the holding of the hand, that feeling of security, that on his time, when you're ready, when you love him, when he is your God. Not when your spouse is your God. Not when you are your God. Please don't miss this point. Please don't miss this point. No one knows. No one knows except you. No one knows how much you love God except you. And if it's not happening, you know the answer. You know the answer. It's clear. There's another idol. There's someone else. There's another idol. And you know what? It's a secret idol. Because I didn't think about it like that. I didn't realize that there's a secret idol. I thought that everything was good. I'm coming here regularly and I'm praying. Praying for what? Praying for what and why? I'm faithful. Why? Why am I faithful to God? Why am I in church? Why? Abraham was faithful. Wasn't he? Wasn't Abraham faithful? Wasn't he so faithful? Isn't he the father of more than one religion? What happened with Abraham though? Huh? Why was he faithful? Because I'll tell you something about Abraham. Abraham really wanted a son, didn't he? Huh? Abraham really wanted a son, right? Who was his son? Isaac. Yes? What does Isaac mean? It actually means laughter. And some people say that he was laughing, him and Sarah, when they had Isaac. Why? Because it was a joke, because they were so old that they didn't believe they were going to have a son. But he prayed, and he prayed, and he prayed. He said, God, give me a son. God, give me a son. And God promised him. He promised him. And time went on, and time went on, and Abraham was faithful, and he was faithful, and he loved God, and the people around him knew that he loved God, but God wanted to see something. And God wants to see something. Do you love God because you want a spouse? Do you love God because you want Rachel? Because you want Isaac? Or do you love God because you love God? And so to test Abraham, he said, take your son and go up on the mountain. And do what? And do what? Are you going to give him up? Are you going to give up your son? Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Think deep, deep, deep in your heart, deep, deep, deep in your mind, deep, deep, deep in your soul. Ask yourself, because everyone here, that thought has crossed their minds. 100%. You're in your mid-20s. 18, 19, 20, 21. Right? This is the time. In your mind, this is the time. That's it. Where is he? And who is she or he going to be to me? That was actually pretty good. Ask yourself, really? Really? Because was Jacob happy after he was fooled? Yes or no? Was he happy? Was he happy? Huh? You know this saying that I heard? I actually read it in a book. Good book. Men use love to get sex. Women use sex to get love. Wow. This is so true. This is so true. A man whose idol is himself or the girl is going to love because he wants sex. Because he loves himself. Now, he might not give that appearance. Guys, quite honestly, he might even be fooling himself. Young guys can fool themselves. I was there once. I thought I was in love 50 times. Yes. 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 And you did too. Don't look at me like that. Okay? Am I wrong? Okay? And the man will convince himself. And he'll fool everyone around him like he said, and he'll fool himself. Fool himself too. Right? But ultimately where he's going, what he wants is to satisfy himself. Him. Every time there's a relationship I ask, I said, let me ask you a question. Mom and dad don't want it. Okay. Alright. You inside of you feel like you're not ready. Then why are you holding on so tight? Why? Why? Be honest. Why are you holding on so tight? Really? Is it because you love them or because you love you? Answer honestly. And it's hard. It's hard. No one wants to admit it. No one wants to admit it. No one wants to admit it. Admit it. Be real. Admit it to yourself. Here, I'm telling you, I'm your big brother. I'm not Bishoy. I'm your big brother. As if I'm talking to my younger sister, as if I'm talking to my younger brother. I will tell you right up to your face. I will ask you, if someone or something in your heart or someone you trust is telling you this might not be the time, then what will waiting do? What will waiting do? You're going to lose them? If you're going to lose them, and he is your king, and he is your God, and you trust him, then it wasn't meant to be. No, we can't hear that. We don't want to hear that. No. No, we'll make it work. We'll make it work because I love myself. Because I need this now. Think. You want to show him love? You want to prove to him that he's your God, not yourself, not your spouse? Then wait. prove that you love this person, then wait. We all know it's not easy. And don't get me wrong. This doesn't apply in every situation. There are times when it is the right time now. Yes. Irrespective of the age. There are times when it is the right time now. There are times for that. I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about the ones that feel opposition, that feel insecure, that know themselves and know their insecurity, and know the reason why they're in this relationship. Is it because I can't be alone? Is it because I have a void? Is it because God isn't filling my void? Someone once told me, get it right with God first, because if you don't get it right with God, then you'll never get it right with anyone else. You won't be ready to be married until and unless you're right with God. And only you know if you're right with God. He said, have a nice day. I was like, what is going on? What does that even mean? Do you love him? Do you think about him? Are you eager to talk to him? Are you eager to pray to him? Do you think about his goodness? Do you think about his love for you? Do you try to please him? Do you get out of your way during the day and say, today I'm going to do something for you, Jesus? For no one else but for you, in secret. Today, because I love you, and I want to show you that I love you, I'm going to do this. In 2 seconds, we'll do this for the spouse, for the one we love, here, in 2 seconds. Take a picture out, look at it. Sometimes, Satan tricks us so much that he makes me think I'm getting closer to God through this person. Meanwhile, I'm getting closer to God because I want this person. And because there's some things that are out of my control to get this person, I'm going to go to God. I'm using God. I'm using him. I'm looking at everyone's eyes right now, and I love it. You know why? Because I love this. You know why? Because you're thinking. You're asking, is this me? Is this happening to me? Am I falling in this trap? And that's great. That's great. That's great. Because that happened with Jacob. He started thinking to himself. And he's resting. And he's sleeping. And the sun is so hot. And God sends like this little tree to cover his head. To protect him. And he wakes up and he starts walking. And who meets him? Who does he wrestle with? Right? Who does he wrestle with? And what did Jacob do? After he realizes who he's wrestling with, what does he do? Does he push him away? Does he say, get off of me? You just broke my hip? What does he say? What does he do? Oh man, he hugs him. He hugs him. He embraces him. And he says, I'm not going to let you go, God, until you bless me. Oh my God. Amazing. I'm not going to let go of you until you bless me. That's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. Every single one of us right now. You feeling empty? You feeling empty? There's a void? There's a touch of loneliness? Let go of everyone and hold on to him and don't let go of him and say, God, I am not going to let go. I am not going to let go until you bless me. It's magical. Go ahead.
How do we know if we love God because we need God? Like, if we actually, how do we know if we need God and we depend on it or we love Him? I think that's something I personally struggle with. Like, I need God, so I'm relying on Him and I call on Him every day because I need Him. Or I call on Him every day because I love Him.
Okay. It's a fair question. What do you guys think? Mina?
said that it doesn't matter, but as long as, if you call on him just because you need him, because you're scared of him, or for whatever reason, that doesn't matter. Just keep working on the relationship and just don't stop there. But as long if that need, maybe God put that need in your life so that you can rely on him because you can't rely on yourself.
Okay.
As long as that's not the end goal.
Okay. I don't think that was a question. It's a good answer. I think the question was, how do I know if it's a need versus a real love?
But if that's where you're at now, that you're questioning it, then I don't think that's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a good question.
For those who are visiting, as you can see, we're all so nice to each other here. We love each other. Yeah.
I think temptation will show if you truly love God, or because of him, or because of something else.
What will show? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Temptation.
Temptation? Okay. Why? How?
Because it tests you.
So you mean how you handle temptation? Okay. Excellent. I like that a lot. Yes.
Also, you can see what occupies your thoughts the most. Kind of get to see what are you really thinking about God for him or for someone else.
Excellent. Yes.
I think you could tell by consistency. So if, let's say, if you're doing it because you really want to know God, you'll be more consistent. Whereas if you're only doing it for a need, once that need passes, whether it's accomplished or not, you're going to see like fluctuations.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Yes.
I think the obvious one is, like, if I'm praying for me to pass an exam, and then after I pass the exam, I don't ask God or don't talk to him until I have another exam, then that's a clear sign where my heart is.
Excellent. Excellent.
I was going to say, I think a good way to find out is a lot of people try to figure it out on their own rather than actually praying and asking for God to reveal their weaknesses or their truths about themselves, which will help them.
Excellent. Excellent. These are all absolutely on point. Excellent answers. Excellent answers. By the way, I'm going to say one thing. You're here for a reason. You're here for, whoever's sitting here is sitting here for a reason. In this meeting, on this day, for a reason. Okay? Because you may not have been here last week, and you may not be here next week. But you're here today. And he doesn't work by chance. Ever. He knows exactly why, when, how, what, because he loves, because he's God. Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay? Yes.
I'm sorry, this talk is lovely. But is this the only idol that we're going to be talking about today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great.
Anything else? Anyone else? That's it?
Your God is not only the one you rely on, but He is the one you live for. Because anybody can rely on Jesus because he needs him, because we are all weak by nature, or at least weaker than him, and he is the super strong, so we need him. But the critical point is, do we live for him? If we live for him, he is our God.
Can everybody here come out? Can you? They can't hear you. Can you?
Okay, there are two things to test yourself. Who is your God in your life? Number one, who you really depend on in your wildest tribulation. This is number one. And we all agree that this is what we need. We all need somebody to help us. But this point helps you to only use your God as a means, not an end. So we can all jump into this criteria. But the other one is very, very essential. Are we living for him, or we only rely on him?
If I could also add to that, when God created us, okay, he created us a certain way. The same way when a vehicle or a car is created, it's created a certain way, okay? There are certain things that a car needs to make it work. We all agree. An engine, a transmission, exhaust. Everything, all the wire that puts it all together, okay? Then, even if you have all that, you still need what? Fuel. You need gas, right? And if it's cold outside, and it's snowing, and you need to use your windshield wipers, you need what? You need antifreeze, right? Okay? And even if you have all of those things, can you use your car? You have a Lamborghini Diablo, okay? You have all of those things. You have all those things. You have everything. You have everything you just mentioned. It's your car. You can stand right next to it. People come up, they take pictures. Are you using that car to the fullest and maximum potential? At that point, are you using it? What do you need to use the car? Thank you. You need the key. Right? So if I don't have the key, and I have the car, and it's fully hooked up and ready to roll, but I can't get in the driver's seat to drive, okay? All right. What we're doing in our lives, without God, is having the things all around us, but inside of us, we are what? Empty. And C.S. Lewis, and let me tell you, look around you. What do you need? Do you need evidence outside the Bible? I'll show you evidence outside the Bible. How about all the people, including the most recent one who just passed? Famous Robin Williams. He appears joyful because all he does is makes other people what? Laugh. Fame, popularity, money, married. He wants 5 houses, he can get 5 houses. How many cars you want, whatever, take it. What did he do to himself? What was his hope in? C.S. Lewis once said, okay, and I want to quote him verbatim because you can't say it the way he says it, okay? If I find in myself a desire, okay, which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. Think about that, okay? Think about that. Sweet, okay? That's why you'll find the poor widow with no kids who were murdered or beheaded in Iraq with joy in her heart because she has God. Yet you have the person who's living life with all the means to whatever he wants, but he takes his own life. Trust the one who made you, the one who loves you. Trust him and love him for him. Okay? Seek first what? The kingdom. I want to live forever with you, Lord. And just try. Just try it. Just try it. Try to live that way. Okay, what would I do for my girl who I love? For my man who I want to marry? What would I do to show him that I love him? What would I do to show her that I love her? Maybe I'll cook a meal, like go buy a surprise. I'll surprise her. I want to surprise her. My wife loves it when I surprise her. Come home with flowers. They have to be the right color though. And they gotta all be perfect. Never mind, that doesn't work. A ring, whatever, okay? I surprise you with a gift. Okay? Surprise God. Surprise him. Say, Lord, I didn't expect to wake up to do this today, but I'm going to do it for you. This is my surprise. Live that way and see what happens inside. See what happens inside you. See what happens inside you.